Hi, this is Nathan at Ray Networks. Thanks again for joining us for part 5 of our VIPRE series on the VIPRE Endpoint Security Management Console. So we're getting into kind of an interesting section here today. We're going to talk a little bit about the report viewer within the VIPRE Endpoint Security Console. In our earlier videos, we talked a little bit about how to configure the site properties, how to navigate the user interface. We talked a little bit about the different methods to install VIPRE on the computers on your network. And then we talked in our last video about policies. And today we're going to talk about some reporting options that VIPRE gives you because, it's great to have all your software installed in your computers, but you also kind of need to know what's going on. There's always going to be some computers that have issues. That's just the Murphy's Law of working on a computer network, or maybe I guess the 80-20 rule, where you're probably going to have 80% of the problems on 20% of your computers, and you need to know who those 20% of the problem child computers are in your network. So, reports are a great way to do that. So let's dig right into it. So first of all, how do we get to the reports? The reports are accessed through the report viewer button up here at the top. When you click on this, you're actually going to get a whole different window that pops up, and this is the report viewer window. And frankly, this is pretty well laid out and simple to navigate. So you're going to have your choices of reports over here. This second section over is where you're going to set your options. So let's, for example, let's do a patch management summary report. So this is going to tell me the computers on my network that need some kind of patch management. I then can go over here and pick which computers or policies. Remember, policies are almost like folders in the VIPRE logic here, right? So in my policy that I have called Nathan's personal policy, let's say I don't want a patch management report for all of my computers. I just want the 2 computers that I have applied my Nathan's personal policy to. I can just select those, deselect the rest. And then I have 2 options up here for getting my report. So I can either do preview, which when I click on this, I literally get a nice looking report like this that shows me a preview of what's going on, how many computers I have that are unpatched versus patched, the severity, maybe the computers need a lot of patches, but they're kind of not that important of patches. But let's say I have some that are like security patches that I really want to make sure I address those. I then have a way to kind of delineate which ones or I guess prioritize the patches that are necessary on the computers. Getting back into here, I also have a schedule option. So this is kind of cool. You want the reports to be able to be sent to you on a regular basis. You can click schedule. All right, and then the tabs up here, you just need to enter in some information on what you want to have happen here. So like, what format do you want it? Maybe you want it in an Excel document instead of a PDF. You saw that was the default. Maybe I want to rename the report, like Nathan's, weekly patch management report. If you get a bunch of reports in here, naming them can be important. Maybe I want to receive this report at 5 o'clock in the evening, right? So there, put in 1700, and I want to get it weekly on Thursday. And then also, what do I want to have happen here? I want to email it. So let's just put in my email address. There we go. Hey, Nathan, here's your report. So anyways, lots of different ways here that we can make sure that you get this report in the format that you want and when you want it. There we go. All right. And there we go. We now have a scheduled report, and you can see that that now shows up down here in my scheduled section. And I can go into any report in here and quickly, do either a preview or a schedule and select all the different options here that I have. And in some cases, I can even tell it what columns I want. So some of these you can see as I click on this firewall daily, I can, tell it like different columns that I would like to be included into report. I can select all the columns like that, hit preview. This report doesn't have any data on it, but you can kind of get an idea of, how you can kind of move around these different columns and different dates as well. Like, maybe we want to go back to a date back here so I can get, 2 months worth of data, something like that. So lots of good options here. So this is the report viewer for the VIPRE Endpoint Security Management Console. I think kind of the key thing to get to know is these schedule and preview buttons up here. And I think we have more and more customers pretty much just using the schedule option where they're just having reports being, sent to them every, whatever, every week or every day, depending on the option. All right, throw any questions that you might have down in the comments section down below, and hope you enjoyed the video, and be back later for more videos on the VIPRE Endpoint Security product.